Every answer in this video starts with the letter A. That's the entire premise. 10 biology questions, 10 answers, one shared first letter. And by the end, even the biology majors watching are going to get at least one of these wrong. We're starting easy. We are not ending easy. Let's go. Question 1. Blood leaves your heart's left ventricle and immediately enters the single largest blood vessel in your entire body. It's about an inch wide and shaped like a candy cane. What is it called? 3, 2, 1. Aorta. The reason this is cool, the aorta doesn't just carry blood, it acts like a second pump. Its elastic walls stretch with every heartbeat and spring back, smoothing out the pressure so the rest of your arteries don't get hit with a jackhammer pulse 40 times a minute for your entire life. Question 2. Forget rainforests for a second. More than half of the oxygen you just breathed didn't come from trees at all. It came from the ocean, made by a group of microscopic organisms that float near the surface and photosynthesize all day. What are they called? 3, 2, 1. Algae, also known as phytoplankton. The reason this is cool, one single genus of ocean-dwelling algae, Prochlorococcus, is so abundant that it alone is credited with producing roughly 1 in every 5 breaths you take, and it's invisible to the naked eye.
Question 3. There's a Mexican salamander that never grows up. It stays in its juvenile aquatic form its whole life, and it can regrow an amputated leg, complete with bone, muscle, and skin with 0 scarring. What's the animal? 3, 2, 1. Axolotl. The reason this is cool? It's not just limbs. Axolotl can regenerate sections of their spinal cord, their jaw, their heart, and even parts of their brain. And they can repeat the same regrowth on the same limb dozens of times without the tissue degrading or turning cancerous.
Question 4. For most of scientific history, life was split into 2 kingdoms, bacteria and everything else. Then, in 1977, a microbiologist found a group of single-celled organisms so genetically distinct from bacteria that he had to invent an entirely new domain of life for them, one that includes many of the extremophiles thriving in boiling hot springs and acidic vents. What's that domain called? 3, 2, 1. Archaea. The reason this is cool, archaea look like bacteria under a microscope, but their cell membranes and genetic machinery are built so differently that some of your own cellular machinery has more in common with archaea than with bacteria, which is a big part of why we now think complex cells evolved from an ancient partnership between the two.
Question 5. By individual head count, one insect outnumbers every other animal group on the planet combined, with a global population estimated at roughly 20 quadrillion. What is it? 3, 2, 1. Ants. The reason this is cool, that population of ants adds up to a combined dry biomass close to 12 million metric tons of carbon, which is roughly on par with the total biomass of every wild bird and mammal on Earth put together. Question 6. We're leaving easy territory. There's a flowering plant that can grow taller than a person, blooms only once every several years for a single 24 to 48-hour window, and heats its own flower spike up to nearly human body temperature just to spread its smell further. What's the plant, better known by its nickname, the corpse flower? 3, 2, 1. Amorphophallus. The reason this is cool? The stench isn't random rot. It's a precise chemical cocktail of at least 20 dozen compounds, including one that smells like Limburger cheese, one like garlic, and one that's the exact molecule responsible for the smell of human feces, all engineered to trick carrion beetles into thinking they found a dead body to lay eggs in. Question 7.
This small crustacean produces dormant embryos that can survive years without water, extreme UV radiation, near total oxygen deprivation, and swings in salinity that would kill almost any other animal. Some cysts have hatched after being stored dry for decades. What's the animal? Most famously sold as a novelty pet under the name sea monkeys. 3, 2, 1. Artemia, brine shrimp. The reason this is cool? Those dried embryos aren't just dormant, they're essentially glassified. The organism swaps its internal water for sugars that turn its cell interior into a stable, glass-like solid. Same trick tardigrades use. And it's why brine shrimp cysts have survived actual spaceflight conditions in orbital experiments. Question 8. There's a group of common garden insects where the females are, in the words of one zoo curator, essentially born pregnant. Each one already carries developing embryo clones inside her at birth, no fertilization required, allowing a population to explode from one founder into thousands within weeks. What's the insect? 3, 2, 1. Aphids. The reason this is cool? This is called telescoping generations. A mother, her daughter, and her unborn granddaughter can all technically exist inside the same body at once. And it's a big reason a single aphid landing on your houseplant in spring can produce a full-blown infestation by summer.
Question 9. This is where it gets hard. This parasitic roundworm is the single most common helminth infection in humans on the planet, estimated to infect somewhere around 1 billion people at any given time, mostly through contaminated soil and produce, yet it barely registers in public awareness because most infections are mild. What's the parasite? 3, 2, 1. Ascaris. Ascaris lumbricoides. The reason this is cool? An adult ascaris can grow over 1 foot long inside the human intestine. And despite being that common and that large, most infected people never know they're carrying it because the worm has evolved to avoid triggering the kind of immune response that would get it noticed and expelled. Final question. Very hard. Fish living in the freezing waters at opposite poles of the planet, one group in the Antarctic, an unrelated group of cod in the Arctic, independently evolved nearly identical blood proteins that stop ice crystals from forming inside them. In the Antarctic fish, genetic detective work traced this protein's origin to a completely unrelated ancestral gene that had nothing to do with temperature at all. What's the protein family, and what ordinary digestive enzyme did it evolve from? 3, 2, 1. Antifreeze glycoproteins, evolved from trypsinogen, a digestive enzyme. The reason this is cool? This is one of the cleanest documented cases of convergent molecular evolution ever found. 2 fish lineages, separated by an entire planet and tens of millions of years of divergence, arrived at almost the same 3 amino acid repeating protein, purely because freezing water applies the exact same selective pressure everywhere, and evolution found the same solution twice, using completely different genetic raw material. 10 for 10, all starting with A. And that last one is the kind of fact that makes you rethink what unrelated even means in biology. If you got the corpse flower and missed the antifreeze protein, you're exactly the audience this show is built for. Next episode, we're doing this again. Different letter, different set of organisms that will ruin your day in the best way. Subscribe so you don't miss it.
Stay curious.